Welcome back to Magic Tarot Cards. It's Jasmine. I have a 7-card spread here for you. This is going to be about Derek Chauvin's final thoughts and feelings now that he has been charged or actually, found guilty for all his charges. I asked the cards what he's thinking now, what his energy is, and we're going to go from there. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, y'all. Hit that notification bell so you're reminded when I upload another video. Forgive me, y'all. I'm in a little bit of pain. I'm still having pain from the procedure I had done. It's been at least 3 weeks, but I'm still experiencing pain. Everything else is in the disclaimer box. And if you want a personal reading, contact me with the information down below. I'll get back at you as soon as possible. All right, so let's get started with the reading. For the first one we have is the Justice card. This card here is the judge sitting in the chair, and he's holding his sword up, showing his power. This judge is very passionate because that's where the red comes in. Very balanced judge. You see one foot sticking out here that represents balance, and then we have the scales are balanced too. So this actually represents the outcome of the, everything that happened. So when you get the Justice card, that represents, it was fair for everyone. A just outcome, okay? A just and fair outcome is what that represents. So, yeah, I believe it was fair. I believe, justice was served is what this card represents. Justice was served. Now, as far as he's concerned, I can tell you right now that he actually was thinking he was going to get acquitted. He didn't think that he was going to be found guilty. The whole time he sat in jail for this, he thought he was going to be acquitted or found not guilty. And that's what he was hoping for, but he actually believed he was going to be acquitted. Number one, because he's a cop. And most cops get away with stuff, so he kind of felt like that was going to happen to him. He was going to be able to get away with what he did. He kind of felt like the system was going to be more on his side because he was a cop. Well, not this time. All right, so this is justice was served. And I can't believe he actually thought that, So this is the 7 of Swords in the reverse. In the upright, we see a sneaky person. Someone that is stealing, someone that is stealing the swords represents, stealing energy, and that's what he was doing. He literally stole George Floyd's life away from him. And then this sword over here represents evidence left behind, which is all the evidence that, we all saw that he left behind, which made him guilty, okay? But it's in the reverse. So now that it's in the reverse, it means that truth came out. So yes, during the court system, all the truths came out. The truths about everything. I'm sure everybody watched the hour-long, court thing. And it showed, the attorney showed all kinds of stuff. The video and how, he had his knee on his neck. And then the test results said this, and this. So this represents truths coming out, okay? I don't see him apologizing or being sorry, although I do see maybe his attorneys might say something like that. But it's not going to come from his mouth, okay? Because he's not sorry for what he did. He's sorry that he got caught, but he's not sorry that he actually took a life. Okay, and if he is, he hasn't said it, and I don't see that he's going to say it anytime soon, okay? But, yeah, this represents the truth came out. Truths come out from the person that committed the crime, okay, and that's him. Okay, so for the next one, we have the Tower, which is unexpected event. So this was a huge unexpected event for all of us, for him. This threw him in a whole different direction. The outcome of this court threw him, off his feet, because he literally thought that he was going to get acquitted. I keep hearing that over and over. So it just blew him away. So right now he's in his mind. This was unexpected for him. He's thinking to himself, okay, what next? He's pretty much in shock right now because, again, he thought he was going to get acquitted. He thought he was going to get off and get to go home. So he's pretty much in shock about what happened, about the outcome of what happened. I do see that his attorneys might try to appeal it, but I don't see him getting out. If anything, there's a judge or there's a higher up that's looking at papers or some going over papers. I'm hearing somebody's going over papers, and they might even add more years because they're going to find something else that was overlooked or wasn't presented in court. But this higher up person, I think it's the judge, is going to find something else in the paperwork. That's what I'm hearing. Something in the paperwork. And then he most likely might add more years to his sentence. Anyway, yeah. So here we have the Page of Swords. Again, this is truths coming out. What was hidden comes to the light, is what I'm hearing. Yeah. So again, with this card, it's showing me truths coming out, a lot of communication. This is mainly talking about the court here, how the truths came out. You see, it fell right underneath the justice. So there was a lot of great communication, meaning the attorney showed a lot of proof. A lot got accomplished is what this card is representing. A lot got accomplished, a lot of talking, a lot of evidence being shown. So the truth came out. Regardless of what anybody thinks or says, the truth is out. Okay, the Spirit keeps showing me that over and over. Now for him, he is in his emotions like the Queen here, the Queen of Cups. Just because this is the Queen doesn't mean it doesn't represent a male figure. But he's like this Queen of Cups right now. This person is sitting there all by themselves, all lonely, thinking with their head down. Very turbulent times. I'm sorry, y'all, I had to yawn. Very turbulent time. You see the water, how it's wavy all around his feet. It's surrounding him. He's in a very small compartment. Very small. See how small this area is? Very small compartment. In his mind, this whole picture is blue, which represents in his thoughts, deep in his thoughts. And here's the cup is closed. It doesn't show that it's open. So that represents that he's not going to tell anybody how he's feeling. He's keeping all that to himself. He cries at night. He's still in shock. He's wondering, okay, what happened? This is what he literally says to himself. What happened? Because he did think he was going to get acquitted and get out. So he's more like, what happened? You know, I'm not supposed to be here. I was supposed to get out. And which makes him cry and depressed and stays in his thoughts about what's going to be next. You know, what's going to happen. He does think that there'll be an appeal, and he thinks he might get out then. But I got news for you, buddy. That's not going to happen. There's a lot of people, even the jurors, that don't want him out because they're afraid of the outcome. Not the outcome with him, but the outcome of what they're going to face with the world, meaning riots and stuff like that. And nobody wants to be responsible for that. Nobody wants to be in that line of fire. So the jurors are actually afraid of that. They're afraid to say, okay, we're going to let you out, and then the whole world goes berserk and kill them. So yeah, there's a lot of people afraid of the outcome if Derek was to be let out. They're afraid of the outcome of how the people are going to react, which there would be a huge riots, even worse than what we had before. So yeah. Now for the next one, we have Judgment. In the upright, this is the aha moment, the great awakening moment. And I do see he had an awakening, but he didn't have the awakening that he was supposed to have. Okay, if that makes any sense. This is when it's in the upright, this is an awakening when you realize something. Okay, maybe about yourself or about your life or about a certain situation. But it's in the reverse for him, so he didn't have the awakening that he's supposed to have. This, it hasn't hit him yet. Okay, it hasn't hit him yet that he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail. And it will be the rest of his life because he's in his 40s. They give him 30 to 40 years. He'll be in his 80s by the time he gets out. And he'll serve full term, but I guarantee you that he's not going to be serving it because something's going to happen to him. If you haven't seen my first reading, in the first reading I did get the death card, so I do feel like something will happen to him while he's there in the system. Either somebody will get him, he'll do away with himself, or he'll die of some type of illness or something like that. But I do see that coming for him. But I do also see that so far he hasn't come to the awakening that he actually did something wrong. Okay? Yeah, and this also shows fear, like fear of being judged, fear of failure. And that's in fact, that's more important to him than anything else, that he failed, and he has a fear of failure. He doesn't want to be presented to the world as being a failure. So he fears that. He fears his reputation more than he's fearing what's about to happen to him. See, he's in his mind about that. And that's why he's not, this card's in the reverse. He hasn't come to the realization like, oh, I did something wrong. This is the awakening card, the aha card, like, oh, okay, I did something wrong. No, that he hasn't come to that yet. So that's why it's in the reverse, because his thoughts are more like, oh God, I don't want to be judged. I don't want to be looked at as this murderer. I don't want to be looked at as the person that did something wrong. My reputation is so important. You know, that's all he's thinking about is him, and not what he did. Okay, so that's why this card fell in the reverse. So there is a delay here for him in learning a lesson, a karmic lesson, but it's going to come. Okay, it'll come. All right. So for the last one, we have the Magician. It's in the reverse. When it's in the upright, that represents that you can manifest anything. Okay, that's what the Magician is for. All signs are here. All right, showing his power. And there's the infinity sign, which is your life goes on forever. But for him, it's in the reverse because he's not able to manifest exactly what he wanted, and that was to be acquitted, to get out, and to be proven innocent. Okay, that did not happen for him. So he is unsuccessful as being the Magician. Okay, yeah, so this pretty much shows the end here for him. This card is not going to flip back around for him. He's going to stay in this energy. I feel like for a long time he's going to be like in the energy of not learning what he's supposed to learn. I kind of feel like he will reincarnate and come back because he's going to have to learn this lesson again. Okay, until he understands that he actually did something wrong. I felt like that he will reincarnate. I'm hearing that right now. And he will come back as somebody else and learn this lesson again in another lifetime. Okay, it won't be our lifetime because we won't see it. But I do feel like that's going to happen for him because he is not learning what he's supposed to have learned from this. Okay, you commit a crime, you have to come to the realization of, okay, I've committed this crime. I have to do the time. I am sorry. But I don't see him in that energy. Okay, maybe later on after he spends some years there, he might be in that energy, but for the most part, I don't see it happening for him yet. That's why this is a very important card here, the Judgment. It's in the reverse because he hasn't come to that realization. He's more in his thoughts about himself right now. He cares more about his reputation than anything else. Okay, and he does have a lot of fear of what might happen to him there. But like I said in the other video, they're going to keep him in isolation for the most part. And no, he's not going to be in some rich resort that all cops go to or anything like that. Because I heard something like that. No, he's going to be in a small cell just like everybody else. He's not going to get no special kind of treatment. The only thing is that they'll keep him separate from the population because somebody will get him in the population in prison. Okay, so he'll be by himself, which is an even more worse punishment than ever because you'll be alone all the time. Okay, he'll be alone with his thoughts. All right, with his own terrible, horrible thoughts and with his own horrible self. All right, y'all. So that's pretty much it for him. I think I'm going to do one later on for him after the sentencing. I did hear they moved it up to June 16th or something like that. So that's just next month. And we'll see what happens then. All right, we'll see what his energy is then. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, y'all. Give me a big thumbs up. Hit that notification bell so you'll be reminded when I upload another video. Sorry, my voice is real cranky right now. I'm not feeling all that great, but hopefully I'll get better. See you next time. Bye-bye.